Hello. Okay, let's make the homework 1 assignment. So here I am, and I'm in my workspace that I've created. I'm in the folder DES 341, and then here is my home page. So let's just add a folder. I think it'll be probably easier to just kind of keep all of our homeworks in one folder. So I'm going to, I can right click on this and say new folder, or if you have this selected, you can say file, new, where is it? Add folder to workspace. Either way is the same. So I'm probably going to just make a, so let's see, I'm going to make sure I'm in the right place. I'm in DES 341 inside the home page. I'll make a new folder called homework. And I'm going to keep all my homework in this one folder. So now I want to make one called HW1. Excuse me. Okay, so add that. And now I should see homework and HW1. It does this weird thing that if there's no content in homework, it just like makes this like slash thing. But it's fine. So here we are in homework 1. And then if I right click on this, or you can also say file, new file. So now this is a file, and you always want to start with an index.html file in any folder, because the browser will automatically load that file first if it finds it. So I'm going to save this. And it's a lot easier if you do the save first and then make sure you're putting it in the right place. So homework HW1. So I'm going to save this. And now I should have mentioned this before I saved, but it used to say plain text, but now it says HTML. So if this is like a magic trick. And if this doesn't work for you, I'll show you the extension you need. But if I type an exclamation point, see how there's this thing called Emmet abbreviation, and then I hit tab, it'll give me an HTML boilerplate. So this is kind of like the template that you need. I'm going to quickly walk through this. So doc type HTML, when this file loads into a browser, this line tells the browser, hey, I'm an HTML document. And then the next tag that you see is HTML lang equals English. This starts here, and then the HTML tags have like a closing tag, and it ends down here. So this is saying, okay, everything between here and here is all the HTML for this page. The head is sort of like the extra stuff that you don't physically see on the page. So a lot of times, like, so this title, if we look at this in the, let's see if I can just open, I'm just gonna close it and reopen it. It's just easier that way. Okay, go live. Okay, so here's our fancy homework. So see how it says document here? I go back and I change this to homework 1 and save. Now when I go back to the browser, that's where that tag is. So that one's called title. It's in the head. So this is sort of like before the page, and the page lives inside the body tag. So anything I add between the closing body tag and the opening body tag is going to show up on the page. So I can just literally just type some text, hello world, and then it'll show up on my page. So body is basically what you see in your browser. So let's see. If you didn't get this boilerplate, let's step back for a second. So you want to make sure you have Emmet installed. So we're going to go to extensions. That's that 3 boxes with the floating box. Click on that, and then let's type EMME. I think it's a single T. It looks like I don't have any installed. So let's see. Probably, let me pick a good one for you guys. Emmet, Emmet, convert Emmet abbreviations to composition. Emmet Live. Emmet JSS. I don't know which Emmet. there should just be like, there's VS Code Bemit. Native emit for React. I don't know. It might just be the first one. Let's look at the description. You might not need this extension to use emit in VS Code. Emit, okay, is a feature of VS Code. All right, so it should already be installed for both Windows and Mac. But if you're not getting that magical like exclamation point, you could install it and see if that that helps you. But what emit is it basically it kind of auto fills in. I'll show you some cool things about it. So let's say I want to have a paragraph. I could type the letter P and then tab, and it'll just give me a paragraph tag. So, and then, so I could like, I'll just move my hello world into the paragraph tag. Or let's say I want to do a header. So you can have different levels of headers. So if I type H1, that's my kind of top level header. And then H2, and then H3. So I'll show you top header, secondary header, and they're really, you just call them H1, H2, H3. Tertiary header. Okay, so let's look at that. So you can tell that just even with the default style, the font size is a little bigger for the first, and then a little smaller, and then a little smaller. And then this is sort of like the default copy size that HTML gives you. Okay, so that's text. That should be enough for text for this homework. And then let's do a link. So a link is called an anchor tag, and it's the, if you type A and then tab, it'll give you basically like the basic tag is just A. So it's a angle bracket, and then /A. But then there's this other attribute called href. And that's like hypertext reference, and that is like a link to another page. So to make a link, you want to do this tag, and then the text that you want to show up that's clickable goes in between the tags. So I'm going to make a new page called page 2, but I'll just assume that that there's going to be a file that exists. Actually, I want it to be prettier than that. So the link is going to be page 2, and then I'm just going to use the word next. So let's just see what that looks like. So there's my link. And then let's make a page 2 real quick. So, so inside, where'd we go? Okay, so inside homework 1, you want to click that, say new file. And then, so I'm doing it the other way instead of the file command. But if I say page2.html, then it'll give me a page 2. And if I do the exclamation point and tab, I can just I'll call this page 2, and then I'll save this. And maybe I'll just put in the body page 2 so we can just make sure that it's working. So let's go back to the browser. And then if we click on next, we should go to page 2. Okay, so I'm just going to use the browser back button. So far we've got an index page that goes to the next page. So let's talk about images. So the image tag is kind of a special tag. It is IMG. And then we can hit tab. And so the image tag is a little different because it has 2 attributes by default. It has source, which is basically kind of like the link to the image. And then it has alt, which is if the image for some reason doesn't load, then this text will show up instead. So I don't know, I'll just give it like my picture because I have no idea what I'm going to do my homework assignment on yet. Okay, so, and then this is what's called a self-closing tag. So you notice that all the other tags we've been using have had a starting tag and an ending tag. The image tag doesn't have a closing tag like this. Oops, it won't even let me type it. it likes to like autofill things in. It's kind of a pain for a while, but you'll get used to it. Okay, so it doesn't have a closing tag like this. In fact, VS Code is complaining to me right now. It just has a tag that has its own slash at the end, and that is like how it closes itself. So there are very few of them. I'll point them out as we find them. Okay, so here's my image. Now let's just go find an image on the internet. I'll just open a new tag. Let's see, let's do like cupcake. Maybe I can do like a cupcake making. Let's see, images. Maybe I can find like batter and then, I don't know. Okay, people making cupcakes. Sounds great. So on this right-hand side, what I like to do is sometimes sites block you from getting the image. So if you do the sidebar thing, and this is Chrome, things are kind of easier in Chrome, so I'd recommend using Chrome if you can. So this one is 700 pixels wide, which is pretty good. So if you think about a screen is 72 dots per inch, then this is about, whatever. It seems like, I guess it's like, the math doesn't work in my head. But, okay. Anyway, so it's like 10 inches. That seems crazy. I guess that's normal. Okay, so I'm going to open image in a new tab because I want to make sure that this is actually an image and not just like you can't use this image. Okay, so here's the actual JPEG image. You can use this link, but I would recommend just downloading this file because if this address changes, then your project will break. So you can right click on it and say save image as, and then let's just make an image directory. So I have to go find my folder. I made that little alias on my sidebar. So there's my home page, there's my homework, there's homework 1. Inside homework 1, I'm gonna add a folder and call it images. And then I'm going to save it. I think I'm gonna just change it to like chocolate cupcake so I can remember what it is, cup that I downloaded. And then I think just for this demo, I'll get one more image and then, so that looks like a good image. So I'm gonna right click, open image in a new tab, verify that it's actually an image, and then I'm gonna right click again, save image as, and then I'll call this like walnuts. Okay, it's in the same place, homework 1 images, walnuts. Okay, so let's go back to VS Code. So I want to make sure I'm on index 1, and my first picture, I'm going to use that chocolate cupcake. So we're going to use relative tags or relative links. So we need to think about where we are. So we're on index, and we need to go into images and then find the chocolate cupcake image. So the way we do that is we say, go into images from where I am, and then find chocolate cupcake. And VS Code is so nice because it has found it for me. So let's see if that worked. Whoops, go back to homework 1. Okay, so there's my image. And then see how next is like right before it? I'm going to show you a little tag that'll help you for this project. So you could do a couple things actually. You could put the image in a paragraph. That would actually probably be the easiest. So let's do a paragraph tag. It likes to autofill your tags in. So if you are like me and are going back and forth, you have to kind of cut and paste to make sure that this image is inside this paragraph. And so now next will be above, and then the image will be below. And while we're at it, we might as well do, we'll just put a previous that doesn't go anywhere or I guess eventually we would change previous to go to like the last page, but right now there is none. So I'll just make it be page, 5? Okay. And then, cool. So they're a little too tight together, but we could just like, if you do just like a little, the pipe is, it's shift, it's like the one above the return key. If you do a shift, it makes like an up and down pipe. That can be kind of a nice separator. Okay, so first page, and then let's click on next, and here's page 2. So let's go to page 2. I don't know why it jumps around like that. Okay, page 2, and let's add an image here. And this one is going to be same thing, images, and then I'm going to do walnuts. And then maybe for my alt tag, I'll say walnuts. And then I'm just going to be lazy and copy the previous and next so I can just change. Oh yeah, I forgot to put the paragraph around there too. So I can just change the links. So, okay, paragraph, I'll get to you in a second. Previous and next. So now the previous is going to be index.html since this is the second page, and the next will be page 3.html, which we haven't made yet. And then I just want to wrap the paragraph tag around the image so that it has a little space between the links. Let's see how we're doing. That's not the right page. Oh, it is. Oh, okay, cool. So see how this image is like giant on the screen? So yeah, I guess I was right. It is 10 inches wide. I'm not going to worry about CSS right now. So I'm going to show you something that I want you to forget in a little bit, which is you can add the width to an image. It's better to do this in CSS, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So I'm just going to make it 400 pixels wide. So you can just say width equals 400, and it should automatically adjust the height. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, so 400, I'd probably do 600 instead, but there you go. That's one way to size this stuff. And so let's click on previous. Here's the home page. Let's clean up all that header stuff and then maybe add some text to the next page. So index. So I'm going to say, I'll just leave the header 1. I'll say how to make cupcakes. And then I'll say, I don't know, I'll just make stuff up. Get a bunch of sugar and chocolate. Okay, so we're going to do a header 1 and a paragraph on each page. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it onto page 2, right above the link. So right in the body. And remember, between this body tag and that body tag, that's what's going to show up inside the browser window. So I'm going to keep the header the same, and then I'm going to say decorate with walnuts. Super boring, but it does the job. Okay, so let's see what we've got now. Okay, so here's our H1, or our index page. We click on next, and then we get to the decorate with walnuts page. We click on previous, and we go back to the home page. So that's kind of the start, and then you'll keep building. So then you'll want to do page 3, page 4, page 5, and page 5, when you hit next, should go back to the index page. Okay, I am signing off.